Hey, it's Catherine at resinobsession.com, and today I want to show you how you can sand off the stem that is created when you use one of our sphere molds. So we've got some sphere molds in a couple different sizes, and part of the sphere mold is that when you cast it, it's going to leave a little bit of a stem here at the top, and that's just to make sure that you'll get a nice round sphere when you finish. So what I'm going to show you today is how to sand off this stem. Now I'll be doing it today with a flex shaft. You could also use a Dremel tool. Before you get started though, a little safety, you absolutely need to be wearing a pair of safety goggles and a particle mask so that you don't breathe in any of the resin dust. So before you even turn on the flex shaft, I want to show you just a couple of techniques. I'm using a grinding wheel. It's fairly coarse. This is going to take down the resin pretty quickly, so you just want to go over it lightly. Also, you'll notice when I go to grind this, I'm using my thumb as a brace, and that's because it's a lot harder to accidentally gouge your piece versus if you're doing it like this, you really just don't have any control behind it. But if you use your thumb as a brace and then you lightly go over the stem, you're gonna have much better control and have a much better outcome. So what I'm gonna do is sand off the majority of the stem with the grinding tool, but you don't wanna get all the way down or sand off as much as you possibly need, because believe me, it's easier to take more off than it is to put it back on. Go. It's been buffed, it's been polished, we've got a nice smooth top, and at this point, if you're really concerned about how the top of your bead looks, just put a little bead cap on it. Nobody will ever know the difference. If you have any questions, leave them in the box below. If you get a minute, stop by the resinobsession.com blog and jewelry making forum. We're happy to help you with your resin casting questions. Happy casting!
In this video, we'll teach you how to use Art Resin Epoxy Resin. Art Resin is a two-part clear liquid that turns to a rock-hard glass-like finish when you mix both parts together. It's easy to do, and the results are amazing. So let's get started. Art Resin can work on any medium, so today we'll be coating this piece. It's an acrylic painting on a wooden panel. You'll want to have ready your Art Resin, scrap paper to catch drips, stands to hold up your piece, a level, painter's tape, nitrile gloves, mixing cups or containers, a stir stick, a spreader, something to cover your piece with to protect it from dust while the resin cures, and, as an option, an artist's torch. To start, tape the underside of your piece to protect it against drips. Raise your piece up on stands so that it doesn't stick to the tabletop. And then you want to make sure that your work is level. Now, how do you determine how much resin you'll need? Our online calculator will do the math for you. This piece is 16 by 16 inches, so that's about 2 square feet. Our starter kit covers 8 square feet, so I'll only need to mix up a quarter of it, 4 ounces from this bottle, and an equal amount, 4 ounces, from the other. The ratio is 1:1, so you can visually measure the amount you need. Stir for 3 minutes, scraping the sides and bottom to make sure you get everything mixed thoroughly. Now for the fun part. pour the art resin mixture right onto your work. And spread it out. Our reusable jagged spreaders are great for this. It's totally fine if the resin runs over the sides. We'll show you how to finish the edges in a moment. Next, let's take care of any bubbles. Art resin is great because many of the bubbles pop on their own. You can blow on the stubborn ones, or use an artist torch to speed up the process. And you can actually see them popping in front of your eyes. Once that's complete, you can spread the resin on the edges with the spreader or with your gloved hand. If you don't want to coat the sides, you can just spread it neatly on top. So you have about 45 minutes to play with the resin. After that, it starts to cure and will continue to cure for the next 24 hours. So cover it up with a cardboard box and wait patiently. So it's the next day. Let's see how it looks. Amazing! It looks and feels like glass, only much less fragile. Try it out on your photos, paintings, woodworking, mixed media, glass, jewelry, sculpture, drawings, crafts, anything you can imagine. We formulated art resin from the highest quality materials to enhance your projects and ensure your safety. It's non-toxic, has no VOCs or fumes, and is chemically engineered to offer the most efficient yellowing protection on the market. So go ahead and get creative.